Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. And now, here's Rob.
Live from the Podville Media Studios in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., this is The Mike O'Mara Show. Tuesday feels like a Monday.
Tuesday.
Now in our second decade, TMOS is a worldwide podcast and radio show with a family of listeners who are unrivaled in their love and support for our program. If you're a first-time listener, sit back, relax, and leave the driving to us. You are in for a treat. And for our longtime friends, thank you for your continued support and spreading the word every day about TMOS in great places like Warwick, Rhode Island. Been there?
Yes.
Okay. George Washington National Forest, Virginia. Been there?
Never.
Okay. Someday. Burgettstown, Pennsylvania.
Never.
Okay. Grant County, West Virginia.
No.
But not even when you were a student?
Probably not.
Student? Cozumel, Mexico.
No.
No, they call it Magic Cozumel.
Well, have I been? Where did I go with Shannon when I was?
It's a cruise
when
destination.
We were dating. We went to it's
Cozumel.
Acapulco. It's Cancun.
You right?
I think we have been to Cozumel.
Okay, that's a ding. And the Republic of Honduras
Let me look
in
it up.
Central America. TMOS is on the air and everywhere, so let's get started. Well, if you can tear your nose out of your computer...
Never been to Cozumel.
Never been?
No.
You know what? This year.
Disregard.
100%. 100%. Welcome back, world traveler. Woo!
Yes, back from Boston, back from Beantown.
Yes.
Good to be back.
If you called it Beantown up there, would you get bad looks? Do they embrace it, or does that like a touristy thing?
I don't think they care.
Okay.
I know this. It's the first time I've been traveling with my mom one-on-one.
So Shannon didn't go.
No, Shannon went.
Oh, okay.
But I take care of my mom.
Right.
It was fine. She was. What anybody listening right now? I hope you had a good holiday weekend.
Yes.
I hope it was. While I had a great one, I was happy to be able to escort my mother while we still have her.
Now, don't say that. That's dark.
It's the truth.
I know, but there are things you don't say.
Roly poly yoly.
She's in the best health that she's been in years.
Yeah, thanks to Ozempic, but she's still older, right?
Right.
You still look out for her.
Yeah.
My dad, I think, is going to roll into his hundreds just because he's built different. My mom,
To spite you?
a little softer.
Yeah.
God willing, she makes it into her 80s. If she makes it into her 90s, we're talking about double overtime. And I'll probably have to take a month off the show when my mom goes. I'm giving everybody a heads up.
Where is she? Upper 70s now?
She's in her mid 70s.
Mid 70s.
And
okay.
She's great, but she's also all of, she's got all
the things?
She's got everything she had when she was younger, except for the mobility to back it up. And
explain.
I asked if she needs a wheelchair. She says, I don't want a wheelchair. And I was like, well, you're moving at a slow pace through the terminal.
I'm at an age now where if anyone offered me a wheelchair at any time, I would always say yes.
And I'm thoughtful, and I give her my arm. So,
that's sweet.
Yeah, and I tell my sister and the dog to go ahead. We'll see you in about 2 hours. And I said, Mom, I'm not saying that you're infirm, but a wheelchair would probably help you. Your back's a little bad. Like, how can we work this out? And she goes, but what if I see one of my friends?
In Boston?
No, in the airport.
Oh, in D.C. Okay.
And I said, well, you're going to be like, hey, I'm getting there faster than you are. Like she's more embarrassed
right.
about maybe running into one of her doñas, one of her friends, and then she is about like slowing her roll for us.
Right.
And look,
how's her balance?
It's pretty good, but she can't carry like. She swears she was carrying a purse and then another little bag, like your typical old lady, bag lady. And then I'm carrying her purse and I'm carrying her sequence bag, and I don't mind doing all of that. I'm there,
good guy.
Like, I think you all know I'm close to my family. I have no qualms about taking care of them. But she's wearing these like half heels when she shouldn't even be wearing heels. And I asked her where her Keds are, or her sneakers, and she said I don't wear, like, I like to dress like la gente, which is the people. Like classy people in the airport. So
has she ever been to an airport?
There's a ton of conflicting. No, she dresses up to go to fly like old timey.
Yeah, old timey. Yeah.
And I respect that. I'm also dressed up because I'm flying with my mom.
Tuxedo?
I asked Shannon to dress up. No, in like slacks and a dress shirt.
Okay.
I asked Shannon to dress up because I knew my mom would be judging us. So we're all dressed up, going to the airport. We get her to Boston. I get her, as she says, ¿has ordenado el Uber negro? Which is Uber black.
Oh, she likes that.
And then I said, yes. So we get an Uber black. She's telling the Uber black driver all about, because the driver was from Dominican Republic, and they hit it off, and was explaining to the driver that her 2 kids are doctors, and I do something on the internet, and that was painful for a good 40 minutes.
And she's saying it in her native tongue.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
so you can hear it, and Shannon probably can't.
I'm right next door, and Shannon's got AirPods in.
Okay, so even if she could hear it.
I'm next to her, and I was like, oh, that was kind of painful.
Yeah.
And then we roll into my brother's neighborhood, and the Uber driver says, this is where all the high-powered doctors and lawyers live. And she says, yes, that's my son. And then she's very proud, and I'm happy. And you know me. I am not jelly belly of anyone.
No.
I celebrate, especially when it comes to my family, I celebrate the hard work, and what is the byproduct of hard work is, a nice home,
success,
nice neighborhood, success.
Right.
And my mom's like, my daughter's got a nice home. My son Jose has a nice home. My son Oscar is working on it.
And did she point to you?
I don't have no inferior. I'm the one in the car. She doesn't have to say anything.
Yeah, but
I'm
the
guy.
But I mean,
I'm her son. I'm not her caregiver.
I know, but I'm saying, is she pointing out to the driver that you're the one that's working?
They know
on
my name's Oscar. Yes.
Okay, very good. Just checking.
I'd like to.
That makes it just a
shake
little
the
more
driver's
painful.
hand and say, I'm Oscar. That's Senora Ceballos. So, fine. We get there. Have a great weekend. Let me tell you, there's nothing better when you don't have kids and you want kids for a 6-year-old to wake you up at 7 in the morning every morning and say, I thought we had a deal at 8:30. Then he comes back at 8:30 with his little peepers and says, are you ready to play basketball?
This is Sebastian?
This is Sebastian, my nephew.
Okay.
Spent all weekend with my nephew, taught him how to hip check his fellow 6-year-olds on the basketball court.
Good.
Explained to him that he can't whine when he's losing in basketball because whining does no good. And did I dunk on him? Maybe once or twice. But I wanted to show him life isn't fair.
Yeah, well, tell him to play some defense then.
I did. I showed him the defensive stance.
Right.
I said, you got to get in defensive stance or people are just going to run by you. I don't care if they're 6 or they're 45. You're going to run right by you. If you don't get in the defensive stance, you're not stopping anything.
Right.
And then I explained to him what traveling is because he was just running, that little kid running, pitter-pattering with the basketball. So you can't just run by people. They're going to call foul. And that's traveling. He goes, but I need to score. And I said, still traveling.
The rules are in place to make the game more fun.
And did I swat the ball a couple of times?
But not every time.
Not every time. I said, listen, I got to show you adversity at 6 so you don't know everything's easy.
That's not exactly the method I chose with my children.
Someone's got to show them early.
I suppose.
And then I called traveling every time he traveled because he had to learn what traveling is.
Did you have a whistle?
Didn't have a whistle. Went,
okay.
And then he's like, oh, Tio Oscar. And then now.
Next time I'll loan you the whistle.
4 quarters over the weekend. Ask me what the score was.
Okay, what was the score after 4 quarters?
He had 100 points. We played to 100.
Okay.
Over a weekend. After every quarter was basically break time, pool time.
Okay.
And I had the score of 58.
So he won.
He won. Now, did I let him win? Yes. Because I'm an adult and I know what it's like to, foster children's confidence.
Right.
Did I let him win easy peasy? No.
That's good.
He learned the rules of the game. And does he hip check now? All the time. Even when he doesn't need to, but he hip checks.
Does he do? That'd be useful on the court or even at the airport.
Or even in soccer when he's playing with the kids running after the ball all at the same time.
Sure. So you've got to be right now his favorite person in the world.
Yes. I was asking Shannon, I said, Uncle of the Year, right? I don't know anybody else that goes to bed and says to his nephew, what time? And he's like, 8:30. And I said, not earlier.
No
not a
minute
knocking
earlier.
And saying, are you up? No knock, nothing else.
Robert was a big rule bender on morning time.
So I went to bed dressed to play basketball. So I'd get up and he asked me, like any little kid would be like, why are you still in your pajamas? because he thinks everybody just goes and changes into pajamas at night. I said,
Right.
I put on my athletic gear after my shower, and why change when I'm ready to play?
That's right. Come on.
And then we did not one, but 4 KiwiCos. If you're out there, use the Team West code.
Yes.
When I tell you on a rainy day, those KiwiCos come in handy. Learned a lot about science and propulsion.
What is the best thing you learned?
Me?
Yeah.
That if you make a mistake while you're building a KiwiCo, your 6-year-old nephew will call you out on it.
Okay, very hip check you.
He would be like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Oh, my bad." But it was also sobering. I've been talking about having a child.
Right.
I'm tired. For you parents out there,
6 is a rough age.
I don't know how you do this. My brother would come home from work. He had to work.
Yeah.
And so did his wife. And they would go and do things with their child. I remember my father would come home. He would sit down, watch the nightly news with me. That was our quality time. And then he'd go right back into work.
Wow.
But my brother comes home and he does things. Like he hangs out with him. And I'm like, how are you doing this?
It's true.
Right?
You got to do it. You have to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know your dad was gone. Pony.
Yeah.
When your dad
Yeah,
was,
but I had kids, so
True.
So I could do it. I couldn't with my dad.
Yeah, but you were doing afternoons, right?
What do you mean?
When your kids were little.
Afternoon, middays, some.
Right?
Yeah.
Would you go home and hang out with your kids after work?
Absolutely.
Oh, man. They're lucky.
Little kids are great.
What about you, Pony? Do you remember hanging out with your dad when you come home from
Sometimes
a hard day's work?
my dad would call.
Yeah, you saw him on the weekends.
Yeah, sure.
His weekend dad. Yeah, my dad would play and do stuff with me when I was little. When he'd come home, and we'd also watch McLaughlin Report or whatever.
The McLaughlin group.
Yeah,
On Sunday
the
mornings?
Group. Yeah. Or I think it was on at
Saturday
night.
mornings?
So I think it landed at 7:30 on our NBC affiliate.
Yeah,
on
he
Saturday.
loved that
I'm
show.
sorry. Look at you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's your bedtime.
Yeah, Meet the Press would be a Sunday morning
Yes.
deal.
Okay.
Or is that called Press the Meat?
Press the meat.
No one calls it that.
That's what I call
But
it.
quality time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legitimate quality time.
Yeah, so I asked my brother, I said, this seems exhausting. He goes, no, it's like, I get to hang out with them. He goes, I thank you. First of all, he thanked me, as he should, for being the best brother ever. And essentially giving them some free time.
As he should.
Giving his parents some free time.
Sure.
From there's just constant questions.
Mm-hmm.
And then I taught him the sliding in the first, feel something burst, diarrhea.
Good.
Diarrhea.
Oh.
And then he held on to that all weekend. And I don't know if his parents were, as the junkies say, sized.
Yeah.
That I did
They
that.
might have been bitter.
They
hurting.
might have been a little bitter at your boy. But I said, this is what little kids do.
Yeah, and you know what? He is going to be the distribution font to many other 6-year-olds.
Yeah, I want him to ruin.
This is how poetry lives on. It's an oral
Yes.
tradition.
I want him to ruin the upper crust of like Boston prep schools.
Yeah.
When he comes in with his sliding to first, feel something burst, diarrhea rhyme from the weekend. It's just. I thought Luca was like a fun, active child. This kid is like
How is
all
Luca?
motor. No, I don't. He's 18. He's 17. He doesn't care about me. He's into boobs and vagina. I guess that's what he's into.
He
these
didn't
days.
ask about me then. That's sad.
But yeah, so fatherhood's tough. You guys don't get enough credit. You don't get enough presents. My brother had a wonderful celebration. We went to a Bolivian restaurant, cuisine. Don't ask me what I ate. I don't remember.
Florida cake?
And then no Florida cake.
Oh.
Had some flan. Good to go.
Good.
But back here, happy to be back. Love Boston. Wonderful town.
Could you ever live there?
I said to my brother, I wish either you all lived in D.C. or we lived in Boston because it's just nice to have family close.
It is amazing to have family close. I love it. Robert's home, which is great. Yeah. And he got me the greatest Father's Day present.
He did?
Yeah, a submarine trip to see the Titanic.
Oh, wait. That's
too soon.
I'm on my computer. I continue refreshing.
Any word?
No word. As we tape here on Tuesday afternoon. I'm hopeful. Most people, not just in the office but online, are not.
No, as of this afternoon, I think they had 40 hours of oxygen left, which is,
geez.
That's a day. That's a day and a half. So we keep our fingers crossed for that. Robert actually did hit it out of the park.
Okay. Did you ask? Because I know Mike has demands.
No.
Mike, by the way, is on vacation. He'll be back.
Oh, that's right. He's not here today.
Yes.
Thought it was quiet. We were talking. Carrie got me some beautiful sunglasses because I lost my sunglasses in the car flip. And so she got me some sunglasses.
What are you, an Oakley guy these days?
They are Oakleys, as a matter of fact. They're very nice. But Robert, listening to me talk, and I don't go out, I don't do things, and I certainly don't like comic book movies. But I mentioned that I wouldn't mind seeing The Flash based on one factor. And Robert was kind of into it. And so he said, I think when he's going to bed on Saturday night, he says, block out 5:30 tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And we got in his car and he drove me to the movie theater and he paid for tickets and we saw The Flash. And I loved it.
You love The Flash?
I loved it. And
it's getting destroyed online. I'm happy you saw it.
I don't know why people would be. It's not a Marvel-y movie. It's not.
It's a DC movie.
It's a DC movie, but it doesn't feel like a Marvel comic book movie. Because it has a really
great...
But
it's technically a DC movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm saying...
It doesn't feel like a comic book movie.
No, it doesn't feel as comic booky. The effects are great. It's getting trashed for a lot of the CGI. I've seen better CGI, but I thought this was good. But the best thing is the return of Michael Keaton as Batman.
Oh, that's why you went. I was wondering.
Yes.
I was like, why did you go to that?
Because when I was 18, I saw that Batman with Michael Keaton in the theater 10 times. I was so into it. And this has got a great sort of nostalgia feel to it because it's about time travel as well. But there's only one major fault with the movie, and it was distracting to me. Ezra Miller looks too much like Jimmy Fallon. In the movie,
I could see that.
Looks just like Jimmy Fallon, and it troubled me.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
Also, I will say this. It is the most...
Ezra Miller is the main character, main actor.
He plays the Flash.
Yes.
There's some good funny stuff. The effects are good. I love time travel movies too.
Yes.
Like Back to the Future with like different variants and different realities and stuff going on.
Did
that
they
is really
explain
well
it,
handled.
or was it confusing?
No, it was right at the level of being understandable.
Do you see... I don't want you to spoil this.
No.
And I'm probably just going to see
Great
it
surprises.
online.
You should.
But did they have Ben Affleck's Batman?
Ben Affleck is in it, yes.
Cool.
And I won't... There's surprises.
Michael Keaton is a lot of people's favorite Batman.
He was sensational.
Not mine, but
it was...
What about Christian Bale?
Christian Bale, I didn't see him. In that. But it was... there's good surprises around every corner.
Yeah.
And great action, and the audio mix is superb. One thing that I really was taken with is that they really did have proper motivation through the story. There was an emotional storyline in it.
Look at you.
And I was all in.
That's
2.5 hours did not feel like 2.5 hours.
Alamo?
Yeah, no, we went to the Cobb.
The Cobb, that's right.
With the reclining seats and everything.
Wonderful.
Very sweet. But the problem is the movie had such a soft opening weekend. No problem social distancing in the auditorium.
Oh, yeah.
There was maybe
Empty.
24 people in the theater.
Empty.
But I loved it. I loved it.
I felt like I took a time machine because you can't take 6-year-olds to the movies yet.
It depends on the movie.
Oh, I offered. It didn't work out. Many of options. But then we watched the Lego movie. Have you ever seen that?
I don't like it. It's too busy. Too busy.
For one cup of coffee, I was an A-hole. An adult fan.
I
of
remember,
Lego.
yeah.
Bought a bunch of Lego boxes that haven't been built at home. I'm sure I'll just sell them on eBay in 50 years.
Oh boy, does Lego sell on eBay? I had a couple. I got a couple
I'm sure.
unopened boxes.
Got a pirate ship. Got a Batmobile. Got a bunch of stuff.
My yellow submarine went for a lot of money.
So I'm watching this movie because I'm with the 6-year-old. Everybody left the house.
Everything's
they went
awesome.
They went to the mall.
Yes.
And he wanted to watch a Mario movie. It cost $20. I cheaped out. I said, let's just watch this for free on HBO or Max, as they call it.
Yeah.
When the line that said, when the Lego pirate jumps out and he says, you know what's hard? Wiping your butt with a hook. I absolutely lost it.
Okay. That's a better line than the average line in that movie.
And then I sat there and I said, this movie is A-okay. and then ended up watching the Batman Lego movie.
Oh, God.
And then every other Lego, 3 full Lego movies.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know why they're so successful.
What's your take on it?
They're written for adults.
Well, of course, all great children's entertainment.
I don't know this. I don't have
adults.
kids.
No, watch like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I mean, kids love Bugs Bunny, but it's...
I think Bugs Bunny is boring.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd agree. But like the Shrek movies and stuff, they all have that same formula.
I wasn't thinking of the Lego movie to have this.
Well,
when Batman says, "Give me all your black bricks. I only build in black," I was dying. Dying.
And it's voiced by Job from Arrested Development.
Yes.
What's his name? I can't think of his name offhand.
I'm Batman. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's great. He also is the voice of, I think, Buick.
He's on your favorite podcast. How do you not know this?
I don't listen to that anymore. I grew weary of it.
Okay.
Will Arnett.
Yes.
Thank
so I sat there and I was like, okay, I can get into this.
But the visual
Funny
style
lines.
didn't bother you?
The whole weekend we were. I kept on saying, Sebastian, you know what's hard? And he started grinning and he said, "We'd be at dinner." I'm sure everybody hates him in my family.
But you're the Funcle.
Just him and I watched the movies. Everybody else is doing their doctor thing, working,
saving lives.
Saving lives. I was in the rain watching Lego movies.
It's so funny to hear that pluralized.
And my mom and Shannon went to the mall. So I would just throw lines out like the pirate hook line, and he just start laughing at dinner. Or it was fun.
It's great when you can bond with a kid over a movie. It really is. It's good. Now, I didn't like the Lego movie. Maybe I needed to watch it with a kid.
Flew home, was so tired.
How tired were you?
When do you build the calluses of a parent, where nothing bothers you? It's just common. It's old hat. If they bang their knee and cry, it doesn't matter. If they fall off their bike, it doesn't matter.
You never build those calluses. You have to pretend that it doesn't bother you.
Yeah,
Really?
I think people just learn to hide it better.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you got to stay calm.
I hit it.
You got to stay calm.
When he fell off his bike, I said, I saw it all happen. You never hit your head. You're fine.
Did he hit his head?
No.
Okay, just checking.
And I was like, head injuries are the worst thing. I was trying to explain what head injury was, and it's a good thing that he wore his helmet.
Yes.
But I was like,
you're a weird dude.
What do you mean?
He was crying, so I was explaining to him why head injuries are the worst.
I said, it would have been terrible if you hit your head.
Yeah.
But you just fell on your arm, and it's not broken. Move it around.
Yeah, true.
You're fine. Shake it off. Let's keep riding.
So, yeah, I mean, you do learn to hide it, and there's a lot of sleight of hand when a kid hurts themselves.
Really?
To distract them. When Robert used to get, when he was in chemo, he would get these vicious leg cramps.
Yeah.
And I asked the doctor about it. He says, there's nothing you can do to fight them. It's just a side effect of the medicine. I said,
oh, no.
Hydration? He says, no, not really. It's just cramping. And so what I would do is I would get an ace bandage and sometimes a sock.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I know how to cure this, but you got to be still for me. And I would make it take this laborious, long method of wrapping and crossing. And then by the time he was so out of his mind bored looking at me wrap his leg up, the cramp would have passed.
Oh.
But you just have to distract them while they do it.
I like to lean in.
What? Just feel the pain?
I said, let's talk about how you fell off your bike. What were you doing? How can we stop this from happening in the future? Were you paying attention to where you were riding? Did you survey the scene?
I don't think I ever
just
did
a
that.
kid.
Yeah.
He's got to learn.
Well, yeah, but there's an innate, if he's falling off because he went on a certain hunk of pavement that's wrong, he's innately going to avoid that in the future.
Yeah,
you don't need to drill into it.
My brains are real good at it.
If you don't, I say, look, I could tell that he was just talking and trying to continue a conversation.
Right.
And I saw him kind of lose his balance.
Yeah.
Too far away from me because I'm on my bike in the street and he's on the sidewalk. And he just wasn't paying attention to where he was riding, right? He's a little kid.
Right.
We came to that conclusion together.
Right.
And I said, what did we learn? He said, pay attention to the road. I said, that happens when driving, when you're on the bike. It's always going to be, watch the road. You don't have to look at the person while you're talking to them because you can look ahead.
Yeah.
Especially, I was like, if I'm on the bike and you're in front of me, you're not turning around to talk to me.
Here's what's weird. Is that the two highlights of your weekend are the joke about a hook on your butt
yeah.
and teaching a child to stay focused at all times, treating it like a case study at your business school.
No, this is just adulting.
It's pretty intense adulting for
totally
a 6-year-old.
got it, and he's like, what are we doing?
Bless his heart.
Focusing on the road. I said, focus on the road. Focus what's in front of you. So you don't have to, like in broadcasting, I don't have to look at Rob to talk to him.
No, he hates looking at me.
Because I'm talking to you at home on video.
Hello, friends.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi, America.
Hello there.
But I think, look, I'm no parent, and I'm hoping that he's not saying, T.M. Oscar is really tough on me.
I don't think he's doing that.
No, all we did was have fun, but when the mistakes happened, we evaluated the mistakes so they wouldn't happen again.
The only thing that wasn't fun is when you pushed him over on his bike.
No, the performance review.
There was a full performance review.
Did he give you an exit review when you left the house?
No, he didn't hug me on the way out, which was really strange.
Really? That's sad.
We were in a hurry, scurried out.
Yeah.
So it was fun. Happy to be back here. Also,
exhausted on the plane though?
No, I'm not a plane snob. Oh, by the way, for those of you that have been asking for a full video on my F1 racing experience.
Yes, that's mostly me.
Okay, well, it's coming this week. I'm going to drop it into the TMOS feed.
Oh, great.
But yeah, I set it up on my personal TikTok, but I'll drop it into the TMOS feed this week. And then I have a separate video of my experience in Atlanta that I finished that I want to drop into the TMOS feed so you all can see it. I'd love to get a group of listeners to go down and race. Because all I've been thinking about is racing since I went down there. It was a lot of fun.
I thought of you this weekend. Did you get to watch the first 2 episodes of The Righteous Gemstones?
Yes.
When he got in the Formula One car?
It's wonderful. Nothing like what I experienced.
No, it wasn't Formula One.
Yes.
It was what kind of
NASCAR?
car was it? It was a NASCAR.
NASCAR.
And he just kept screaming, my car's broken.
My car is broken.
My car is broken.
So
thought of you.
The idea of I guess overall for us, right? As a show to come and do this with that, I was like, what could we do as a team to get some team building exercises?
Right.
And I know that I'm not going to force you guys to race because that might not be your thing.
How about an escape
listeners
room?
Can definitely do that. We're not going to do an escape room.
It would be good. What it could be a room with a really thin door.
Yes.
And it would be hard for me to escape.
Yes. No. We did that once with the
interns.
The interns.
And I remember it was a team building exercise, and Max spent the time playing video games by himself.
He did.
Oh, and he also started trying to disassemble the furniture, and they asked him to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
over the loudspeaker.
I don't know if you've ever been in an escape room. There is a public address system, and that was said.
Because you're being monitored over.
Yes.
Over a camera.
And what happened 5 years later? We hired him.
He's doing great, by the way.
He's awesome.
Week 2, but it's a great start. I'm happy you brought up Mac.
Good.
Because I want to set this up when Mike comes back.
Okay.
So Mac came into the essentially Shannon and Pony's office.
Right.
And said, "Hey, I want to pitch you something." And I literally said, "Not right now, please. I'm working on something that's pretty important."
Right.
And in true Mac fashion, he says, "Okay," and starts talking.
He is immune to social cues.
Yes.
The way Mylar is immune to bullets.
He said, "I want to do a Mac movie review." I said, "For TMOS?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, what's going to make you stand out?" And he said, "Well, I want to make them short reviews." I said, "Traditionally, they're all short reviews."
Yeah.
I said, "Is it like something that we can learn about or a pairing?" I said, "What do you do for your reviews or your movie-going experience?"
Right.
And he said, "Well, I go and watch a movie with like a friend or by myself." I said, "Well, that sounds sad and boring."
Doesn't he do did he get into, I think he's told us in the past, he sees like a movie a week. He's very regular about it.
Correct. I said, we need a hook for you. We need a hook.
And it's hard to wipe your butt with that.
And I'll get back to the team building exercise.
Okay, great.
You're fine.
Okay.
And he said, "Well, as of late, I've been going to Red Lobster and getting some to-go snacks and then going to the movies."
God, he loves Red Lobster.
I said, "Are you saying you go into Red Lobster, you get something to go, and then you smuggle Red Lobster into your theater?" He said, "Yeah."
Oh, it smells great.
Cheddar Bay biscuits?
He's like,
a nice hot bisque?
He said, I said, "Wait, do you do?" He goes, "Lately, after, I've been able to afford. I just get appetizers. I'm like, so you don't sneak candy into the theater. You sneak seafood.
Yeah, exactly. They must love that.
And I said, seafood? And then he started naming some of the apps.
I'm going to bring up the Red Lobster appetizers to see what might be good.
And he's telling me this like he's normal.
This was his selling point, wasn't it?
No, I was asking him, I was trying to get a better idea of how he watches movies. Does he go and watch them on opening?
This wasn't part
does he watch on opening night?
Okay.
And he got straight into, he's like, well, I do something kind of, I like to bring my snacks. I said, do you stop by your CVS? He goes, no, I go to Red Lobster and then I get an appetizer to go and I sneak that in.
Okay, here are some of the appetizers and we can rate them on whether or not they'd be good to sneak into Red Lobster.
No, into the theater.
Forgive me. I'm so excited. Signature seafood mushrooms.
That does not sound like something that's smuggable.
Okay. Lobster pizza.
That sounds disgusting.
You can get a pie at most of these theaters.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
You can.
So my baseline for smuggling is two things. How do you bring it in? And then if it will hold. Will that snack hold from restaurant into theater?
I guarantee you the pizza would hold better than the mushrooms.
You could wrap that pizza in foil and then get it in.
Like under your shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. What about, this is new, so he probably hasn't a chance to sneak these in yet. Crispy dragon shrimp. Anything fried, you're looking for trouble.
That seems messy.
Yeah. It's going to get cold.
How about crispy green beans?
Yes,
too loud.
No, you can do that.
Yeah.
You guys are thinking about the end result. I'm thinking about getting it in. Yeah,
the beans would
theater.
be good. Yeah. So would the hand-breaded calamari, but you're going to need some dipping sauce.
Calamari's easy.
Yeah, you can wear it
French fries, right?
Well, it's in rings. You'd have to put them on his fingers.
Oh, wait, hold the phone.
Okay, don't hold the phone.
Held.
Thank you. Theaters don't have security the way they used to.
No,
True.
They barely have employees.
I could have waltzed into
This completely makes sense now.
Yeah.
I know he's not lying about this because when I went to see Transformers last week, 2 weekends ago,
yes,
nobody stopped. I had to ask, where do I scan my ticket? This is in D.C., Georgetown.
Yeah, and you know what? They probably would have paid more attention to you if you had white wine and garlic mussels with you.
I could have walked in with a full bread basket.
Pardon me, can I take my crab-stuffed shrimp rangoon into this theater?
That might be a bridge too far.
Lobster dip?
You could do that.
Parrot Isle jumbo coconut shrimp appetizer.
I'm almost positive that's probably what he takes in.
Oh, this is the one. This is the smart play.
Popcorn
Ready?
shrimp?
No, mozzarella sticks.
Oh, all day.
All day.
How much do they cost? Do they give you a price?
I'm opening the menu now. I've got to use my current location. 2 more clicks and they'll be here.
Never mind.
No, they don't give a price. I'm sorry. But I think, you know what? You don't want to get anything goopy. Don't get the white wine mussels. Don't get the lobster dip.
Well, we can ask him.
Yeah.
So
does the movie review?
It's Mike's ultimate. It's his show, right?
Right.
I know he says it's our show. It's his show.
But the movie review segment will end with a Q&A.
No, I figure. I said, Mac, if that's really what you're doing, that's the hook.
That is.
That you're just
fish hook,
like a miscreant with your food, and it just seems so deviant that you go.
What's the best thing you've ever snuck into a movie theater to eat?
I don't.
I have. I've done candy.
That's the least shocking thing I've ever heard.
I've one ham once, but that's it.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
there's not like a big. I don't mind sneaking stuff in. I was just too scared to get caught.
Yeah, but you know what? The movie theaters are now so abandoned.
Now anything's possible.
Yeah, it's anything.
You can walk in with a satchel of cheeseburgers and they wouldn't say anything.
You know what? I could bring it with a satchel of cheeseburgers and sell them.
You could do that
to offset those exorbitant flash tickets.
Yeah, the part of me would have loved, and maybe once in a lifetime, and maybe twice when I was dating Shannon earlier, she's like, let's stop by and get some snacks at CVS, because I'm sure that's how they roll in Southern Maryland.
Sure.
There's no knock on Southern Maryland. Good people. But
people of the earth.
Yes. Middle Earth.
No, not like they're not hobbits.
My wife is from Middle Earth, otherwise known as Southern Maryland.
That explains the hairy toes.
And I mean, that's maybe off the top of my head. It's the one time I could think that she said, "I want to get some snacks at CVS."
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, our Target has a section in the candy aisle that said, and they're like dollar boxes. It says movie theater
Yeah,
snacks.
I get that, but for movies at home,
Get some snow caps. Get some.
Snow caps.
I've never brought in fried food.
No, I've never brung anything hot.
Maybe his theater offers hot food, so it's not a big deal.
I don't like movie theater hot food. I think they should. Popcorn
I think
should
you're
be
lying.
hot.
What do you mean? You can't. You've never ordered nachos at the Alamo?
I do. Oh, well,
Chicken
see,
nachos?
The Alamo is a different
That's
thing.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
a little different.
He could bring in his seafood. No one's gonna know.
That's true. I suppose.
Now, I think we're that'll take a deeper dive. If Mike is willing to sign off on this.
Well, we could just be a test flight. We don't have to commit to like 8 episodes, do we?
No.
No.
I like that he's pushing bits and segments on us.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like, what did you sneak in, and what did you see?
Well,
It's
no,
perfect.
I pulled on that string.
The sneaker.
He wanted to just do a deadpan movie review. I'm like, no, we need more than that from you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'll push it to Mike up. I'll push it up the chain, the food chain. What do you think?
I think that, you know what? I think it would be a good. Movies now open on Thursday nights. I'm trying to think because they used to be always Fridays. Do they sometimes open
Wednesdays
on
to Thursdays? Yeah.
Yeah, so we could do him on. Friday could be a bonus feature.
Ooh.
So he could use bad words.
That's true.
Here's my
because
effing crab dip.
I mean, we can get them movie passes to go to the movie premieres.
Sure.
That's easy these
Yeah.
days. Jesus, they're begging people to go.
Yeah, empty. I say yay.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you say, Pony?
Absolutely.
I like that he brought
This is
this
great.
wild idea that then all of a sudden we realized it was just about the food he brings in.
But then that's what the
I want
show
pictures
is.
though. Pictures it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you need proof.
Yeah.
We need to see proof of it.
We need to see a picture of the garlic and mussel clams with the flash in the background.
But you know what's a good sneaky food?
What?
Hush puppies.
Do they have hush puppies?
Well, he's saying that because hush.
But they also have them at seafood places.
This is true. This is a very many layered.
But I get the hush.
Yeah.
Puppies.
You know what? It was a many layered pun.
I missed it.
That just wasn't fun.
Damn it.
That's all right. That's all right. When we come back, I had some trouble at my automobile dealership.
Oh,
And
I can't wait.
they made me feel so
Didn't
stupid.
you just get a brand new car?
That's the thing. All right? All right. We'll take a break and we'll come
Can't
back.
wait.
Remember, third caller gets lobster dip. Call us now. No Bummer Summer. I'm going to give you a hint of this first spot, Oscar.
All right.
It's Chime.
Oh.
Yes. Kickstart your journey towards healthy financial habits with Chime. From your very first paycheck, you can set yourself up for success by signing up for Chime and linking a qualified direct deposit. You'll unlock a range of benefits, and you'll love the convenience of getting paid 2 days early, nice, and the peace of mind that comes with fee-free overdraft protection up to $200. Say goodbye. Goodbye!
Goodbye.
Goodbye to monthly fees, minimum balance requirements, and deposit obligations. Take control of your financial future with Chime. Sign up for Chime checking today. Sign up for a Chime checking account today to link your paycheck. It only takes 2 minutes and does not affect your credit score. You can't lose. Get started at chime.com/TMOS. That's chime.com/TMOS. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by Bancorp USA NA. The Bancorp Bank NA or Stride Bank NA. Members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Spot Me. Eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. See chime.com/spotme and thank you, Chime.
I know this is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have
And I just met you. That was hot 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Do you have the number of the sub talking head? The sub guy?
Oh, I do somewhere, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I will vape. I will talk on this microphone if you can go get his phone number.
Yes, hold
so
on.
then Pony can call and see if he'll come on the show because we're getting real-time updates on this missing sub.
Yes.
And look, they're still looking for them, but there's so much information out there. It'd be compelling to talk to somebody that actually has been on a sub.
Absolutely. Give me a minute.
Yeah, I'll talk.
All right, thank you.
All right, this is what we know so far, people. And for those of you not in the know,
Privatization.
I can't even speak. Thank you. Of space tourism is here. We've seen it with Blue Origin. We've seen it with SpaceX. It looks like Virgin Atlantic, they had their first flight. They're going to have another one coming up that's actually going to take you into space. And, as far as I know, it's these next gen billionaire explorers that have been on these, or celebrities that have been on these flights.
Yeah. It's like a whole other level of wealthy that you need to be to get onto those kinds of expeditions.
And the reason for the cost is not just the engineering it takes to allow for a safe ascent and return, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's also that it's prohibitive. Like there's costs involved for these like $1 million space orbit rides. And I could see that. Logically, that space race for tourism is going to be massive. I think within 10 years, it's going to be something that we all look back and be like, oh, I remember when that started.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always that way for new technology, especially things that deal with like new types of travel.
Cross-country flights,
yeah,
international flights. Exactly. I'm sure that people have the same thing. That's just for the wealthy. Eventually, it'll become ubiquitous.
Yeah. And
maybe not us, but, our kids.
Automobiles were that way for a little while.
So that level of adventure seeking, I could get behind. I understood.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that you could pay to jump on a sub and go and visit the Titanic. Did you, Pony?
Well, I didn't know about visiting the Titanic specifically, but I know that there are lots of deep sea expeditions that you can go on, and you can tour all sorts of.
But tourism-wise,
I didn't realize that I'm back, by the way.
Oh, hi, Rob.
And I've texted Pony the phone number.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize the Titanic was undiscovered for so long. It was relatively recent that they found the wreckage.
Where have you been?
Well, I mean, for some reason, it didn't gel in my head.
Relatively recent, like when?
Like in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they would have known all along. I'm just being stupid.
Did you watch the movie Titanic?
Yeah, I hate that old lady.
Okay. Yeah, an old bag throwing out that necklace.
That's wasteful.
How many people could have
But
eaten
you knew
for
then that they had found the Titanic.
Yeah, but I thought that they had known for years like where it was. They just didn't have
That's fair. Yes.
access to it.
Correct. Before the movie, most people thought that that was fair.
Yeah.
That they had known where it was.
They just couldn't
weren't
get
going
to
get.
Right.
Okay.
So, Pony, we're looking for Frank DiGiacomo, and I sent you a...
Yes, I'm calling right now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hopefully he doesn't freak out.
The way I understand this...
think he's a
he
cool
won't.
guy.
We'll tell him he's on there. We're adults. We've done this before.
Yeah. God, we did it for 30
Jesus
years.
Christ, like we're landing on the moon. We're making a phone call. This is so crazy. I hope he doesn't freak out. Frank?
What?
Hi, this is Oscar from the Mike O'Mara Show.
And Rob.
You're on the air.
Oh?
Yes.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Okay, as Pony would say, don't freak out.
Yes. Can we have 2 minutes of your time? 2 minutes of your time.
Go for it.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Frank, because I love our listeners and no one else does. I remembered that as a talking head, you had worked on a sub, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Everybody knows the story right now. There's 5 people lost at sea right now on a tourism sub ride, they were supposed to go down and check out the Titanic, and there's a billionaire on board, and there are lives at stake. Your thoughts?
Well, technically it's a submersible. I was on a submarine, but
yeah, Oscar.
What is the difference, please, for the novices out there? What is the difference?
Well, they can go deeper. It's got thickness of what the hull can handle.
Pressure-wise? Yeah.
Yeah, pressure-wise, you can see different things. They're equipped with different cameras and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're just in a metal tube that just kind of sits around, and we got we got armed out with fun stuff. But no, that's it's when I saw the news, I was like, hell of a way to go. But the crushing of the pressures, no matter where you are, it's going to be quick. Like if they're stuck at some area and they run out of oxygen, that's going to be terrible. But no matter what's going to happen, if they go down deep enough and they hit crush depth, it's going to be a quick one. So they're not going to suffer.
When you found out about this situation, I guess it became news on Sunday mostly. That's when it really sort of broke wide. What was your initial gut feeling? Do you think they're doomed? Do you think they have a chance?
You lose communication pretty quickly like that. it's low. You're looking at like 10% chance of recovery because once you get cut off, you're too far away from radio communications. You're going to be low enough where some catastrophic mechanical failure happened, or they got lucky and it was just a bad radio signal. They'll pop back up and like, hey guys, if you couldn't hear us, you should call into the station.
Got it. Yeah. Do you and these are rude questions, so I want to apologize in advance. When you're that deep, do you know can you tell where the surface is compared to what do you know when your up is or what your down is when you're navigating at that depth?
I mean, gravity's gravity. You're still, you still have your bearings. It's not like you're in a plane or you're in space where everything kind of becomes disorienting. Well, when you start to dive and you start seeing the depth gauge just start ticking away, you kind of your instincts kick over and you're like, I'm pretty deep. But other than that, you don't necessarily know what's going on. But if you're in a small enough submersible, you're going to start hearing things click, 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 and you're going to feel the pressure in the cabin press in on you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, essentially for us, we would only know if we start having different air pressure. That was it. But that's usually because we had somebody pop a relief valve and it's just going to be loud and they're going to put pressure inside the people tank instead of outside the people tank.
Another question for you. The integrity of a submersible compared to a sub, could you give a little more, thought to it? Because I was just discussing the fact that there's private space flight, right?
Yeah.
And it took years to certify private space flight in the manner of now we use SpaceX Dragon to get to the space station.
Yeah.
What type of certifications? I didn't see any. I haven't read about any. I know that this isn't necessarily considered a sub, as you just mentioned, but there's got to be a certain level of testing for this type of tourism, right?
Well, from my perspective,
yes.
Like you have guys like me working on a submarine that are putting that together. So, you only trust it as much as you trust duct tape. But, you go down and you do the job. For submersibles, it's you can kind of equate it to like Cessnas versus 737.
Wow.
Like the bigger it is, more things are going to be looked at. The smaller it is, it could go down. And if it's going to be a private, you're going into an area of privateership.
Mm-hmm.
It's one way or the other. It could be, you could have the best crews on it, or you scrape by with the lowest bidder, and then you're stuck with things kind of cracking on you or not operating the way you want it to.
Here's another Rube question. If they were to encounter some sort of massive mechanical problem,
and they were alive,
like
and the pressure didn't get to them,
a day's worth of oxygen, according to what we're hearing.
Yeah.
Is there a way, and I don't know how familiar you are with this particular craft, could they shut everything off and just let the float to the top? Because, I mean, it's an air-filled object, right? Would it float if it didn't have an engine pulling it down?
You'd have to see about the ballast on that, because those things, from what I know, my very little experience with it, they have motorized, something motorized or mechanical to bring you back up.
Okay.
They're not going to be they're not going to be tethered, but it's all about ballast. Can they create enough air pressure to make it buoyant?
Sure.
But if you dive down that much, you're already blowing out the air. You're gonna suck in enough water to make you heavy enough to go down.
Right.
And the only air you're having, because they don't have oxygen creators or O2 creators, anything for CO2. All of that's going to get expelled. Nothing's housing that on the inside to make it buoyant, because that's what everything is derived off of, creating an air bubble to bring it back up. I mean, you can kind of look at this as the Apollo 13 fiasco, where, you shut everything down. Sure, you can kind of motorize yourself if you've got enough emergency power or you've got enough things mechanically right. But if they're dead in the water, they're dead in the water.
Wow.
And thank you for your time. Really appreciate this.
You. Thank you for not.
You guys caught me making port on my cruise. I can't believe I actually got a signal. This is phenomenal.
Wow. I'm glad you didn't flip out.
Yes.
Wait,
I didn't know who this was.
By making port, are you actually on a sub right now?
No.
Okay.
I'm on a cruise on vacation.
Okay, I was like, a cruise? Is that what they call it in the Navy?
Right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, so port is like the wine.
No. He's getting to port from his cruise.
Oh, I've been on cruises before. I wouldn't be surprised if they let you make your own port. I used to drink.
Some sort of tasting going on probably somewhere. I'm not drunk enough for this.
Okay, this other question is, and I've heard enough experts on the cable news outlets saying that if they were dead in the water, their best bet is to bang on the hull so I guess rescuers could hear them, and if they can hear them, there's no guarantee that they could actually go and get them.
Yeah, because depending on how deep they are, they would need some sort of other submersible to go down there. It's not like you can throw a magnet down there like you're magnet fishing to bring them back up. They create enough noise. Acoustics, got it. Sonar will maybe pick it up. If they have some sort of buoy system where they could send out an emergency signal, kind of like a flare. If you're stuck out in the wilderness, you could send something up that has a small flotation device, and that pops up to the surface, creates a signal. Somebody gets attracted to it, and they say, "Hey, we're here. The depth is unknown. It could be X amount of feet, but we can only go to Y amount of feet with how we can tether them up." So then, if they're running low on time, then they have to get some sort of deep submersible out there to get them back down there and pull them back up. So it's a matter of time. But once you start seeing that clock start ticking and they go, yeah, this entire excursion is going to take 18 hours and they've got 20 hours of oxygen left, you do call off the dogs, because at that point it's not a rescue, it's a recovery.
So let's say hypothetically there are subs in the area, Navy subs.
Right.
And if they can get to what is left of the ship, and let's say it's intact and they don't have a pressure issue, do subs have any type of like, hey, let's hook you on and get you to the top? I've never even heard of such a thing.
No, we have recovery vessels that are a topsider thing. So they bring out like research vessels and stuff like that, where if anything was down there, they would put it back in the water. For the most part, it's not necessarily military. It's more commercial and research oriented. But, we work with them where we say, hey, you get government funded stuff. Can we use this to see where we can go, what we can find? So it's not like it's not like Hunt for Red October or down Periscope, where we can go drop the submarine down onto the ocean floor, pull out like some sort of claw machine, bring them back up, and just go, hey, look what we found. Mm-hmm. It's more of a, hey, we know where they are. We can't do anything for them. We have to send messages to the surface and say, we got them. Good luck.
Wow. Horrifying.
So yeah, it's not an ideal condition for anybody, because if you say for whatever reason a U.S. submarine is in the area, they hear the noises. That's going to be more PTSD for the operators that are going to hear banging. Go, we know where they are,
yeah.
And then the banging stops. It's just that's going to be a kick in the pants.
Wow. Well, Frank, I'm sorry we had to connect under such circumstances, but
ruin your cruise.
But do appreciate you giving us and shedding, not just with us, but our listeners, some light from firsthand. You have your sub experience. This is more than we could ever ask for, and we appreciate your time.
No, not a problem. I'm going to go get drunk in Sitka.
Okay.
All right. Good plan. Thank you, Frank.
Talk soon, man.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Wow. Good call, Oscar. Man.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Also, there are two wavelengths here at the office. One is like, they're gone. The other's like, I hope everything's okay, and maybe like they'll pop up somewhere, right?
Well, you got to hope, right?
I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
There are some Debbie Downers walking around that they're like, nope, there was a breach in the hull or some sort of issue that just completely depressurized, and they wouldn't even feel it. It's that quick.
It's really sobering to hear what he says.
Yeah, and as of taping time right now, we're in the afternoon.
Yeah.
There's no new news if they're still looking for them.
Yeah.
I really thought that this is I know movies are movies. I really thought we had some sort of
like a plan.
I felt like if the military is involved, the Navy could just come in and just like throw a little magnet.
That's what when he said you can't do a magnet.
Everything he was saying, I was like,
these are all ideas you had.
I was like,
Me too.
They have to have that.
I imagine a magnet and a horseshoe-shaped magnet on a big fishing reel.
Right?
All right. One last question before we move on. Pony, when I was gone, did Oscar say anything bad about me?
No, I didn't even acknowledge you. I went straight into.
Well, that hurts even
we
more.
Pretended you didn't exist.
Into laying out space travel is one thing.
Yeah.
And space exploration is another. Tourism, space tourism.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about ocean tourism.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. Not good for that.
Wow.
All right. Back in a second. I got a question for you about your business school.
Please.
All right. Back in a minute. Hot. It was a hot weekend. Did you do anything in Boston? Was it hot in Boston?
It was cold until yesterday, where we went swimming, so it was a lot of fun.
We went to the pool on Father's Day, and it was plenty
Oh,
hot.
nice.
Yeah. And Carrie bought me a Slurpee. But I said,
sweet.
you know
Happy
what?
Father's Day.
I said, you know what? I don't want that. What I want is Liquid IV.
Liquid IV. I have some with me as we speak.
You got to beat the heat with Liquid IV. Just one stick provides you with 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, Liquid IV is perfect anytime, anywhere. It's made with premium ingredients. It's non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy. Discover the new sea berry flavor, which is delicious, and the strawberry lemonade, which might be my new favorite. But they've also got all your old favorites, especially lemon lime and Concord grape. Both great. Not only will you feel awesome, but you'll be making a positive impact on the world because Liquid IV has donated over 39 million servings. 39 million servings to over 50 countries. So be like us and drink Liquid IV for a truly amazing experience. So grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off, smart money, when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code TMOS at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com. So when you went to business school and you got your fancy degree, and you learned all the stuff that you learned, do they focus? Stuff, things.
The
and
stuff.
Things and whatnot.
The do's.
And the don'ts.
Yes.
Do they teach you much about personal interaction and like how to deal with, within a meeting, how to handle yourself?
Yeah, one of my favorite, not courses, but sections was built around and upon creating a conversation.
Right.
And we have an unfair advantage because we do this for a living.
True.
But really allowing for those that were a little more introverted within our group to learn how to communicate at a level where they felt comfortable,
sort of drawing them out
in broader conversations. And there's actually a further. I'm happy you brought this up because somebody asked me about this not 3 weeks ago. Where they should go to try to broaden their horizons of how to communicate with strangers and within the business world. I said you should go and take an improv class at a local comedy club. They have them here at the DC Improv.
There's so much overlap.
Because there's a lot of yes and continuing a conversation, how to thoughtfully disagree with a point, but not alienate the person, which is also contrary to what we do here because you want to create that friction because that's what we do. But in the business world, you don't want to insult somebody if you don't agree with their idea or you think it's a bad idea. You have to continue the conversation because if you shut that down, then you're never going to get to where you need to be.
They offer those beginning improv classes at the Improv here in DC.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but
it's the strangest thing that I just said that.
No, but I'm saying that you said a local comedy club. I
said didn't I say the Improv? What did I say, 930 Club?
No, you said local improv at comedy clubs.
Check the tape. What did I say, Pony?
I think you said local places that you can go to improve
like the improv.
Skills, like the improv. Yeah.
Oh, well then you know what?
Are you listening to me?
I was worried about those people.
Sometimes you repeat the same thing I say, and I'm like, I swear he's not listening to me.
It's okay.
Well, maybe if you were better at small talk.
Small talk? You asked me a question, I answered it.
No, I know, and that's why I bring it up. There is a noted way, and I saw this on CNBC,
my favorite channel,
to draw people out with small talk, and it all revolves around one notion, is that we're all egomaniacs.
That's fair.
And that if you want people to engage with you, force them to talk about themselves.
I think we all know that. Isn't that a given?
No, I don't think it's a given because you have people that go into a party scenario or a social scenario and they're talking about themselves.
Yeah, but it's your job. I love going to these bigger.
You can do it at the DC Improv.
Yeah, but you can't. The days of dinner parties.
Yes.
At least and maybe it's a reflection of my lot in life. they're few and far between these days. We're starting to broaden out, and I see more people, or even us, getting invites to like openings and different.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were shut down for what, 3 years?
Yeah. So people are just starting to get out and about. When we were having dinner parties, or I'd go. My best relevant example is Dominique's home, when you'd have a big fancy party.
Right.
I would meet executives from Facebook or captains of industry, and all I do, because we talk for a living, you don't really want to talk all the time.
No,
like,
you don't.
I don't want to. Like, what do I have to? Like, I'll chime in, but I'd rather other people talk. I ask them about themselves, and then boom, my night's over. I've done my part.
People love talking about themselves, and it's tempting because, you know, sometimes it's a little tricky, because if they are introverted, they're not going to want to talk about themselves. But they say the secret to small talk is to make people talk about themselves. I think it's just brilliant.
I thought that was a given, though.
I don't think everyone thinks that. Pony, would you think that immediately?
I think the two things that are going to always get people talking are to ask them about themselves, or to ask them about the things they're interested in. Because some people will be uncomfortable talking about themselves, but they'll open right up if you hit on what they're really into.
This is where, as a broadcaster, or somebody that's really bombastic and charismatic, I'm not saying I think I'm more of a broadcaster, because I don't think I'm bombastic.
I think you're charismatic.
That's very sweet of you.
Thank you. Got Riz.
A Riz?
Oh, he got wicked Riz.
Sometimes you'll go through the carousel of, let's say there's 3 people around.
Yeah.
Little group. My wife's introverted, so she doesn't say a peep. And when people ask her a question, she'll give like a 3-word answer.
Right.
And then that conversation's dead. And then
the conversation killer.
They pivot to me. They're like, oh, that's nice. You work with your husband. And then it just immediately comes back to me.
Urge.
If you're not careful, you will immediately go into broadcast mode and say, now I got to entertain these people.
Oh, I've done it.
And then I will catch myself mid-set, because now I'm entertaining them.
Right.
And say, what are you doing? Reel it back in, you egomaniac.
Yeah, but you're saving it. In your mind, for a moment, you were saving it.
I know they can only take about maybe 5 minutes of Fantana. And then now it's all about me. And then they're going to go home and be like, man, that guy really liked to talk.
Yeah.
Even though I set them up for success by asking them. And
you did what you could.
1-word answers, came back to my wife and pivoted right back to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, well, someone's got to carry this evening. I guess it's got to be me. But that's when I stopped. And this is my move. I just realized I've been talking for 5 minutes straight. I'd love to hear more about blank.
Perfect. That's a great way to save it. Yeah. So did you learn any of that?
I learned that in business school.
That is awesome. So from now on, Pony, stop talking about yourself.
I'll try.
What do you do? Just keep going, and it's like 30 minutes later, be like, man, that guy.
Anime, huh? I guess.
I thought he was never soft about his dolls.
I didn't like it when he pulled the pictures out.
Like, we're showing pictures of our kids. You should pictures of his dolls.
Yeah, this lady, she has tentacles. We'll be
That's
right
fine.
back. That's fine.
Some people like that.
Sure, some people do.
And look at this dress.
You know what's amazing?
This is typical Western garb on an Asian doll.
He goes to different parties than we do. Well, you know what? What he should do really is focus on something else, like getting to know Legacy Box. Legacy Box is the ultimate solution for preserving your precious memories. Don't let your box of old home movies deteriorate in a hot, damp, musty box this summer. With Legacy Box, save your tape sale. You can easily access and protect those memories forever for only $9 per tape. It's like free. It's like magic. Simply send in your Legacy Box filled with VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, and pictures. Their professional team will digitize everything and return it to you on a thumb drive or on the cloud. In the cloud. On the cloud, in the cloud.
In the cloud.
In the cloud. Along with your original items, you get everything back. Experience the amazing feeling of bringing your past into the present and preserving it for the future. We've all used it. We all love it because you can't put a price on memories. And trust me, someday, Oscar, when you have a kid and you show them videos of them acting like a jackass as a little baby, it is fantastic. Say, look what a jerk you were. Look at you. Look at you. I do it all the time. Don't let this summer's heat age your videotapes, film reels, and fade your photos. Visit legacybox.com/TMOS to shop their $9 tape sale. That's legacybox.com/TMOS to unlock this incredible offer. It is meant to be. Legacy Box, thank you. So, my car.
Your car. Can I chronicle just for our new listeners?
Yes.
Welcome. Robb Spiewak is a good guy that has terrible instincts when it comes to cars.
Yes, this is true.
He has melted down vehicles by putting the negative.
They were mislabeled
To the positive and the positive to negative. And then he wondered why the back of his car was set on fire.
That's right.
And
the best part of that story is as the jumper cables were just smoldering to a close of the fire, a neighbor comes by and says, "How you doing?" Not great.
So his insurance premium should be through the roof.
It should be. It should be.
He's flipped a car.
I have.
He's had his car. How about this? Accident prone is an understatement.
Backed into by a snowplow.
Yeah. I was going to say the plow.
Yeah, the plow. Mr. Plow.
He was backing up. You didn't move.
That's right. Well, I suspected.
You said you suspected he was going to run into you, and then he ran into you.
Yeah, no, I suspected he would stop because, I had all my lights on.
Yeah, but you were stopped idling in the way of his plow.
Dude, hindsight is 20/20.
Okay, never mind.
So anyway, I've got a car now.
Brand new car.
Yes.
Because you flipped your old car.
I did. It was total.
And standstill traffic.
Well, it was moving. No, it was moving about 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, I thought you said you were at the toll and then you hit the gas instead of the brake and then flipped your car.
All I know is that when the car flipped, it was standing still. I can promise you that. So I love this car. It is a blue Subaru Outback. And, it was a fairly even swap for the old car to the new car once, you built in the payments and everything. But one of my favorite features, there are people that will talk engines and everything like that, and power and safety. This is a very safe car. Look at me, not dead yet. But it has built-in wireless Apple CarPlay. And it is the most magnificent thing. It basically turns your car into a way to run your phone. You can run Waze off of it. You can run your podcasts off it.
It pulls your full phone into the car's dashboard.
Right. And it was magnificent until it stopped working 4 weeks ago. And I did everything.
What did you do?
I reset the phone. I actually reloaded all the software in the phone. I took everything out of the phone, started as a new phone and reloaded it. I took the fuse out for the entertainment system in the car, replaced it, reset the entertainment system in the car, did everything.
What about a USB cable?
I did that.
You changed it out?
One of the first things I did.
Okay.
Because it's wireless, I said maybe that's not the thing.
Yes.
I put it in. So I called.
So it wouldn't engage at all?
No, it will not. It will pair with Bluetooth.
Yes.
But it won't pair with Apple CarPlay. And this is extraordinarily frustrating to me, even though this is really a tiny piece of the automobile pie.
So I'll give you my experience with Apple CarPlay.
Okay.
At least in the Volvo, the only vehicle that has Apple CarPlay that I've ever owned, I have to put the USB plugged into the car and it just automatically pops up. So we don't have the wireless version, right? You have to jack it in.
And I've had that before.
And then you have to engage Apple CarPlay within the car's iOS. It doesn't just sometimes it pops up, but most likely I have to hit start Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, and that's the similar situation with me.
Then we're on the same page.
Yeah, and I've done everything. I've disengaged, I've turned off the Bluetooth and everything. And so I call the dealership and I say, listen, this is the deal. I've had this car a couple months. I don't want to,
I don't want to write a bad review online.
No, I don't want to do that. No, what I said is I don't want to, I don't want to be a pain in the ass, but I want this car to work because I paid a lot of money for it. Okay, come on in. For this one thing, they gave me a rental car for 2 days so they could work with it. And they said, works fine for us.
Yes.
And so I come back, doesn't pair up. And then I said, just for fun, can I see if it pairs up with another car?
Yes.
And they said, yes.
Yes.
And whatever, immediately.
No problem.
Piece of cake.
Was this used or new car?
This is brand new.
Your car that you bought was brand new.
Brand new. And so they go through all that and they look into updates and everything. And I say, it seems to me that the problem is with the car. You need to put a new entertainment unit in because if this is pairing to another car and not pairing to this, it's not the phone, it's the car.
You're under warranty.
Exactly.
Why not?
And so they said, well, yeah, but they want us to run some more tests.
Okay.
So I went in on Monday. I went in, and this was so great. I got to go back into the service bay and have them videotape me not syncing my phone up.
Okay.
And he sat in the back car, and the whole thing goes through. And what's funny is I go in, and it tries to pair with, there's like 3 technicians around, and it tries to pair with all their phones.
Yes.
But not mine.
Yes.
And then all this goes on, and he says, that's weird. I said, yeah, it's been weird for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, no, you're advocating for yourself. I do appreciate that.
And so I go through all this, and he says, do you have some sort of Norton on your phone that would block it? And I said, no, I don't have any sort of protection software. And if I did, how would it connect to the other cars?
Yes.
And he says, I'm going to send this tape off to Subaru corporate.
Yeah, you're using logic.
Yeah, I imagine that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where I stand now. And then as I'm driving away, I'm thinking, we live in such a magnificent age that I can actually, using the magic of Bluetooth, listen to beautiful high fidelity audio through and I've got a built-in map in my car from TomTom, but it's not what I like.
Yes.
And you know what? I feel selfish in a way.
No, you're a creature of habit. If you use a brand new car, I would honestly just forget about it and move on with life. But if you have the time, and it's a safety issue, I think, in my eyes at this point, because you can text flawlessly through Siri once your car is connected. I think that's probably the best byproduct for that service.
One of the greatest things is you can do it after you flip your car.
You could also do that. Save your life. But for me, I think, I know you're a creature of habit, so you want it to work.
And also, the whole thing is everybody there was so sure they were going to figure it out that they walked me through it like I'm an idiot. And I hate that.
Well, because in fairness to the people that work at car dealerships,
right,
especially in the service bay, there's so many things that are user error. Matt, I know that we break your balls about customer service sometimes, but so many things are like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to hit this button.
Well, generally, yeah.
Correct, right?
And
so
when
it's
you're
usually
dealing
the
with,
simplest thing.
Yeah, but we'd walked through it. So anyway, so that's, I don't know whether if I should feel this is a victory or if I should feel that I've done something stupid.
I know.
Or if I'm of the squeaky wheel. I don't know.
You have to advocate for yourself.
Yes.
I think that you have to also put a line in the sand in your mind to say, okay, I'm going to give them till X amount of time to service this. Otherwise, demand a new system.
Yeah.
What are you giving?
I would give them through this week, I think. If they went to the trouble to bring me in and videotape me being, doing all the stuff that I'd done countless times before.
Yes.
Countless times.
Yes.
Then I think that's all they get.
Okay.
So I will keep you updated.
I love it. I love that you're telling the man what's what, because those payments don't stop.
No, they don't,
right?
Daddy-o. You tell you what, a lot of money. Subaru dollars. Subaru bucks. Gotta pay him. Gotta pay him to use your Bluetooth. All right. Speaking of my driving skills, we'll be back with the flip side.
Nice.
Right after this. And you know what? I want to say thanks again to Frank DiGiacomo for taking our call for that. That was amazing. Thank you, Frank. Harry's. Oscar, I want you to look at this beautiful Death Star. Look at this Death Star. Look at this Epcot Center right here. Shaved it this morning with Harry's. Love it.
Wonderful.
Whether your shaving ritual is minimal or elevated, I would say mine is elevated because I got to shave my head. Level up your game with Harry's sleekest razor yet, the craft handle. Oh my gosh. When you're shaving the back of your head, you got that craft handle, you're in control.
Is it rubber? Rubber? Is it silicone? What is it?
It's metal with like rubber studies on it. It's
perfect.
It's wonderful. Experience the latest and greatest in the Harry's lineup, delivered straight to your door for just $10 by visiting harrys.com/TMOS. It includes the aforementioned craft handle, 5-blade German-engineered razor cartridge, shaving gel, the best, and a travel cover. Plus, you can schedule replacement blade delivery whenever you need them with refills as low as $2. Plus, you can step up your routine with dozens of affordable items to choose from, like shaving creams, post-shave balms, body washes, hydrating lotions, and more. I honestly say this, anything I've ever tried from Harry's, I love it. And you will too. So make sure you check that out. Elevate your shave with the latest and greatest in Harry's razor handle lineup today. Get your $17 craft handle starter set for just $10 at harrys.com/TMOS. That's harrys.com/TMOS. And now, here's Julia.
Hello. Upside down.
The flip side.
All right, let's start with a little bit of music. We've been hearing about Dolly Parton's rock and roll album.
Yes.
It's coming out in November. I think it has 30 cuts on it.
Oh.
And they've leaked a couple of them. This one I liked, and I'm back and forth on it. I want your take. This is her cover of Magic Man, the song by Heart,
Okay.
where she actually sings with Ann Wilson of Heart. Dolly's voice is so good. I just don't know if it's a fit. I don't know.
I want both your takes before I lay in this.
Okay, mine is that when she's singing the melody, it's in the pocket. It's great. But when she goes like, Magic Man, it's not a country record, and she can't do that.
Yeah, but guys, if you're a Dolly fan, you celebrate this.
I suppose you do.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to go to the top of the charts. In fact, I don't think it is. But if you're getting 30 tracks, how old is Dolly now?
She is 110.
No, really?
No, I think she's in her 70s.
Okay. I mean, we'd all kill to even sing on. Like, I think it's another layer of showing that she can be as hip at 70.
Yeah.
Plus,
I suppose.
And if we think that every single track that she's going to put out is going to be like World Slayer.
Well, the thing that troubles me is, of 30 tracks, this is one they leak.
Yeah, because it gives her a different perspective, and I think like this renaissance of Dolly's been going on for a bit of a decade.
Well, she's great. I mean,
and
I don't say it as a slam on her.
On the other side, I mean, the fact that she's been profiled at such a high level with Miley Cyrus on the New Year's show.
Yeah, she was
like,
great.
This is not shocking. Do I agree with your assessment of the singing? Yes, but what else was I going to expect?
Yeah, I agree. I think
maybe we're being a little harsh.
Maybe there's other stuff yet to come.
Fair enough.
We shall see.
Yeah.
My age puts me sort of post Happy Meal at McDonald's. Were you a Happy Meal kid?
Of course.
Okay. They didn't really exist when I was a kid.
They just gave you full adult meals?
Well, yeah. I would get 20 McNuggets and a gallon of whole milk. That's all I had. No, but trouble
20 nugget meal, please, for the young man in the back.
The guy in the kid's seat. In Detroit, trouble with the Happy Meals. I imagine that the toy would probably be something Spider-Man related. What with the new movie coming out? Maybe a Flash something. That movie's hot. But they're getting box cutters in Detroit Happy Meals.
She opened up the box looking for the toy, and he was getting the 2-year-old set up, and she turned around, looked at him, and held it out and said, Dad, what is this? I understand accidents happen. It's just I need to know how this happened exactly.
I was blown away. And my baby, like she always says, Mama, will you open my toy? And so she went to give me the toy, and when I grabbed it, it was a box cutter.
Not a good toy.
Technically, she can open it herself now.
That's true. No Happy Meal will hold her back. She doesn't have to screw with the tabs anymore. Fenway Park, Father's Day.
Oh, yeah. When the driver told me this weekend that El Yankees are in town.
Yeah.
I was like,
El Yankees.
There's a lot of traffic. Is that what you're telling us?
So there was a dad, a son, and a little brother.
Red Sox, Yankees, yeah.
And the little brother catches a foul ball.
Oh, cool.
And throws it back onto the field.
Oh, no.
High fly down the left field line. That one cruising for the corner.
Oh, no. Did little bro ruin the moment?
Threw it back.
Little bro threw the ball back.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. Hey, bro, you remember that Father's Day back in 2023 when you cost me a foul ball?
This is a Father's Day.
Oh, we got to see
Never
this.
to be forgotten.
But all's well that ends well. The Red Sox, classy organization, jumped to his rescue.
I've got a Kenley Jansen signed ball and a Kenley Jansen signed jersey.
You're able to make a fantastic memory out of this, but I mean, what's going on with Charlie now?
Well, he was very excited to get the ball, but so excited that he made a nice throw out to left field, and his brother was a little upset, but we're recovering, and everyone's being so nice. Our friend Mike here is the one who gave us the ball, so we're awfully grateful to everybody for being so nice.
Yeah. Did you know you had to throw the ball back? I didn't know that as a kid.
No, you don't throw the ball back.
If it was the opposite, if it was the other team's foul ball.
That's tradition?
Yeah.
But I think that would be for a home run, not a foul ball.
See, this is where Mike would be here yelling at us.
I know.
No, totally.
But
he would have started yelling long before we played the tape.
I was under the impression it's probably a home run.
Yeah.
But you would literally throw it back.
That's angry.
What do you mean that's angry?
That's
if it's the opposite team?
I can see that. I know that the middle kid was quoted. He said it was a wicked piss. Let's close with this. You know those guys, they get on TikTok, they get on the YouTube, and they do their backyard weather reports, usually during a catastrophic weather?
Correct.
They don't always go like this. This guy might not have been inspecting the lightning quite like this.
Recording live in the backyard.
Play that again, please, and pull up the volume.
Okay, very good.
Recording live in the backyard.
And what you don't know, that is actually Doug Kammerer from Channel 4. Good job, Doug. That's it, folks. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you to Frank DiGiacomo for joining us from his boozy cruise ship to give us some insight on that submarine. Keep your fingers crossed for those poor folks out there. Thank you for joining us for another perfect episode of TMOS. Don't forget you can always reach us. Messages and talking head requests, always accepting talking head requests, can be sent to Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. And we proved today if you're a talking head, we may call you when you're on vacation. That's right. Our mailing address is 1900 M Street Northwest, Suite 400, Washington, D.C., 20036. And don't forget to spend some time at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Best website there is. Thank you for listening, and join us again next time for the best part of your day, the Mike O'Mara Show. So for Mike O'Mara and Absentia, and Oscar Santana and Matt Bloom, this is Rob Spiewak saying so long, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Clever.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.